Hello and welcome to a new episode, guys. Today I'll show you how to record properly with OBS on an AMD GPU, as well as show you the settings that I used for the best quality, which I've adopted recently for OBS, as well as the codecs they should use for your GPU. Let's get into it first of all. So you want to go to settings after you've installed OBS, of course, and go here to output, and then we are going to go to recording. We need to put output mode on advanced. I use standard type, and then here you're going to select where to save your videos. I have it in my C drive on the videos folder, as well as which has an OBS folder. I also recommend saving the videos in mkv.mkv because they won't get corrupted if power is out or anything like that, which is really nice. And here for the codec you'll have H.264 from AMD, as well as H.265, which are both GPU encoded. Now if you have RX 400 or newer, you should have H.265 enabled on your GPU, like hardware. And if you have 7000 series or newer, as well as the APUs, the newer ones, you will have AV1 encoding. Now I am using H.265 because I have a 6700 XT, and that is, I think, in my opinion, the best codec that I can use to record. And yeah, that's what I've chose right here. Audio encoder, I use FFmpeg AAC, which is really basic, at 1440p, and custom remaxer, you can remax it to MP4 if you would like to convert it to MP4 for uploading it to somewhere that doesn't support MKV. You can remax it to MP4 here. Rate control, I recommend keeping it on CBR, and bitrate I have in 60,000 kilobits per second. This is what I usually use. I don't think it's worth going higher because quality won't be improved by much. It will be just very little improved. FPS also, it's not really impacted. It's gonna be like 2 FPS at best, or 5, which is really nice. Keyframe interval, you need to keep this on 0, and preset here is for the quality of the codec here, encoder. So you can choose quality, balance to speed. I recommend quality because already I have a very low performance difference when I'm recording, minimal, so it doesn't really matter. And for streaming you can choose similar settings, and bitrate you can modify this to your internet to be suitable. If you have lower internet or worse internet, you might want to get lower bitrate, and so on if you have better internet, higher bitrate. Now audio bitrate, I recommend it to keep at 160, and replay buffer, we don't need to mess with this stuff. For audio, 48 kHz at stereo or mono. I think mono is better, but I do use stereo for some stuff when I, for instance, record gameplays of games, because people might be listening with headphones, and if they do, or with newer phones that use their front speaker as well as the back one, it's pretty nice in games like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty or Fortnite, because you can hear if someone is on the left or the right. This is pretty useful. Instead of it being mono, you just hear it but you don't know where it's coming from. Desktop audio, you can select this to your like audio thing right here. Usually it's gonna be here I have my headphones, and this is my speakers for the monitor, so you can just choose one of these. I choose my headphones because I have the source of the audio coming through the headphones, but again you can just choose the default one, and if you choose the default it will just choose whatever is selected on here, which is my headphones right now. Desktop audio too, I don't really recommend having this. Like, there's no point in having this on unless you have like 2 PCs and want to do like multiple stuff. But yeah, this is like way too advanced. Micro auxiliary audio, here you have your microphone, you can just choose it right here. And if you have one more, for instance, if you do a podcast, just select them right here. decay rate I keep on fast, peak temp I keep on sample peak, monitoring device on default, and everything else as is. Now to video, here best base canvas resolution, I recommend keeping it on your monitor's resolution. If you don't know what your monitor's resolution is, you can just press Windows plus I, or just here and go type settings. Then you will need to go on sound, on display, and just click right here and see which one is the recommended one or the highest one. And as you can see, 2560 by 4040 is the best one, as we have selected right here. Downscale filter, I don't think you need to use this unless you have like 4K base and then downscale to 1440 or 1080. In case you're streaming and stuff, yeah, this can be useful, and you can choose filters from here. And FPS depends on what you're doing it for, how much space you've got and willing to sacrifice. As you can see, you have 60 FPS, 30, 24. You can choose here whatever you want. And hotkeys, right here are, you know, what you want to set up for your stuff, keypoints for start recording, end recording. Accessibility, I don't mess with this stuff. And advanced, I set this as they are right here. Priority access, I keep it on normal. I don't like to keep it on high because you don't know. Renderer D3D11, that's what I keep. I record in sRGB. Limited, SDR white level, these are my monitors. I have this file name formatting, which I don't even know what it means. And this right here. Now for audio, because I have my desktop audio as well as my microphone, and let's say someone comes in my background and says something and I don't want this to be heard in the video, I record my audio and my microphone in 2 separate tracks. And this allows me, when I'm in editing software like DaVinci Resolve, to cut that part of the audio from the microphone without cutting the audio from, let's say, the video game or whatever you're doing on the desktop. So I have it right here, so just click on here. I have track 1 microphone and track 3 desktop audio. Now you can copy this, that's pretty easy. I wanted to choose this because I've searched on how to set this up, but there's like no useful tutorial, so I set this up on myself and it works fine. Now let's get to the sources. Right here we have display capture, which captures my entire screen, like my monitor technically. So what I see on my monitor you're gonna see on the video or stream. And it's coupled here with the microphone, which is right here. As you can see, it should be here. I think you can add if you have, let's say, a video game. Let me put one up right now. Now as you can see, I have right now Black Ops 3 open in the background, and if you just want to record Black Ops 3 and not your desktop, as you can see my taskbar and everything else, what you need to do is right click here or just press the plus button, select game capture. Of course, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to keep it in default, in mode capture specific window if you have a game, because you might have other full screen applications. I don't know, maybe you have Chrome full screen on another monitor or something, and I just prefer to play it more safe. I just click here, window, you can select here whatever you have, which is Black Ops 3 for me. As you can see, it's just showed up right here. Capture audio, you can choose this if you want to capture the audio like separately, like the audio of the in-game and everything. So yeah, and again, if you have desktop audio, this isn't worth doing because it will record the desktop audio, and let's say you're in a call, it will record the call and the game in the same thing, and also the game itself separately, and it's not worth to do. I would just capture the game audio if you're just recording it and you're doing a let's play or something. SLI or crossfire capture mode, this could be useful if you have again, SLI crosshair. Capture cursor, I keep this because it helps me to highlight stuff that I want to highlight. Anti-jitter compatibility, this is really good. I think it doesn't get you banned or anything, or it hasn't got me banned in CS or anything at least. Third-party overlays, you could choose this if you have like here Steam as an example, or the benchmark like MSI Afterburner and stuff, so that's really nice. Hook rate, just keep it on normal, and color space you can just choose here whatever you want. I prefer to keep sRGB because it's the most widely used one and the best in my opinion. And then we'll just click here on OK, and there we go, we have game capture, and this will capture our game. And yeah, let me just remove this right here. Now, game capture, remove. Now we are back to my full screen. Now there are games like CS2 or full screen games that you cannot record normally with the game capture, or I've had trouble doing that. And what I recommend doing for those is just record the display and then just cut to the part when you're in the game, and that's it. It works just fine. Also, for games like CS2, where if you want to have Afterburner working or OBS record, I'll show you what to do right now. So let's just wait for Steam to boot up. However, you can just right click on CS2 properties and just write this here, -allow third-party software. This will let Afterburner or OBS, if you're recording Counter-Strike, to work with the gameplay, which is really nice, because sometimes, you know, there are games that don't work, and CS2 is one of them, so you just need to add that command. Also, another thing that I want to show you of recording, if you have not gotten a usual codec, or you don't have quick sync, or I don't know, you just have like a random GPU and CPU that doesn't have good encoding, I'll show you what I would think is pretty good to use. But before that, let me show you how the separate tag works on an editing program like DaVinci Resolve, which I use for my videos since I got my PC. Now, if you have a 60 FPS and your timeline is 30, just say here, change project frame rate. These selected clips have different frame rate to the project. Would you like to change your timeline frame rate to match? Press and change all the time, unless you want to down frame your video to 30 FPS, which I wouldn't recommend. I think 60 is smoother, and if you're recording it on 60, why not like export it on 60? As you can see, if I'll drag this right here, I'll have multiple tracks. So the first one, as you can see, is as we've seen in OBS. First track, mic/auxiliary, which is the microphone, and third track, desktop audio or game audio in our case. So as you can see, this one is the microphone, the first one, and this is game audio. So if you just delete this, so if I delete this, as you can see, it's going to be just the game audio. And let me just go when I was in Black Ops 3. So it's going to be Black Ops 3 audio here. But if I go back, I can just have my microphone also, which you're going to hear right now. Again, if you have desktop audio, this isn't worth doing because it will record the desktop audio. And so that was my microphone. Again, you can just, what I recommend to do is drop the volume down and stuff. You can like pitch it by yourself manually in pads like this. Okay, I'm not gonna do a like DaVinci Resolve tutorial or anything, but yeah, that's how I like to keep, and this is how I look in editing software, microphone track, and game audio, or like, you know, like separate audio track, which is really nice. Now let's get into the CPU thing that I was talking about, which I'm going to show you right now, and I'll use the AMD software to record because I am not able to show it properly. If I will record with OBS. As you can see here in OBS I am right now, so I can properly show you. Now if you have again no codec, like no one that's worth it, no codec that's worth using, I would recommend using X264 and keep it on the highest quality, very fast. Usually for usage I would keep bitrate higher, but this will impact your performance significantly compared to if you actually have a codec, as well as I'll get into how I record my stuff on my lower end laptop, very low end laptop, in a minute after I record this. But I'm just going to use this and then show it then on that as an example. So X264 is CPU, SVT or AOM AV1, again CPU or software AV1, and X264 I would recommend. I think there's also lossless. You can choose high here on profile and tune. I would recommend to keep it on standard and here very fast. But what I would say, which is more simple, just keep it on simple here, and I would go on software X264 and quality, indistinguishable quality. This is very large, but also lossless is very interesting because lossless is very interesting because you can record in lossless and it will be perfect quality, and then you can just import it into software like Handbrake and then use your GPU to export. So I'm just gonna keep this right here. Oh, you can just go in advanced, but I don't see the recording thing for the quality thing. So I think this is really nice. Lossless, I cannot find it on advanced, that's why I switched. Bitrate, I keep it at 8800 when I record in lossless, which is very rarely. Yeah, so let's just record a lossless quality video real quick. So as you can see, so this is the lossless quality video. You can clearly see that nothing too important, and yeah, let's just stop. Now into File Explorer, and we'll have this in Video OBS, and we'll have an AVI file which we'll just show just audio on Windows Media Player, but you can open it with VLC. Just wait a bit, and you can just drop it in here. So this is clearly see that pretty high quality and stuff, but I don't recommend it unless you have, again, pretty good CPU but like no encoder. But that's kind of impossible, and yeah. And then you can just import this into Handbrake, and the reason I'm doing this, importing into Handbrake, is because if you record lossless, for me in Resolve, AVI lossless quality won't work. It'll just crash or not work, not support. Not supported. You can just export this to MP4. I would recommend on dimensions to keep it at the normal resolution, which it has, like 2560 by 1440, which is the resolution of the video itself. Filters I keep off. I use, again, you can just here H265 10-bit, which I would recommend for AMD, as well as 60 FPS because that's the video. Now with newer GPUs like mine, you'll have a H265 10-bit as well as H265 12-bit, but that's on the CPU, not the GPU. But H265 10-bit is really nice. This is on newer AMD GPUs. But if you have older one, you can just use H265 AMD VCE, which should be, oh no, so H265 just 10-bit here. It appears, oh no, it's right under here. I didn't see it, but I recommend 10-bit because that is superior. and it works better, and then you'll use your GPU to encode, which if you have an AMD one or an NVIDIA newer ones will be like extremely fast. Now just start encode and you're gonna see this like really fast. Make it an MP4 and it will just be saved to wherever you selected it, and it will be here, Dragish video, so it's in my folder and it's this one. So just really see that. I think again quality is not perfect, it's pretty bad, but if you have to record it's pretty decent, I guess, but not really. I would say lossless only if you have like really bad PC again, because lossless doesn't have really any impact on performance compared to if you were recording on the CPU and you would choose like here indistinguishable quality large file size, which looks really close to lossless normally, but then it will be large file size and it will lag a lot because it's using CPU, which it's not really that good and I wouldn't recommend. Now let's get back here to OBS real quick. Also, one more thing I forgot to mention before I move to my Intel laptop with QuickSync. When you go to settings, and again if you have like a microphone track and audio track separately, and if you have desktop audio and track 2 and microphone track 1, I forgot to say that in output you should, when you go to recording, make sure you have checked the microphone, which is track 1, and the desktop audio track 3, because then if you have just one, it won't record the desktop audio, so that will save you time if you've recorded stuff and not recorded the microphone. But yeah, now let's move to my Intel laptop. Now we are recording this at 720p 30 fps. This is with QuickSync, and to get this working on low-end PCs you will have the error that is failed to record, start recording when using hardware encoding with QuickSync. Now again, you need to install the 29.1.3, which I'll have linked in the comments, download link for that, which should work, and you'll have OBS running on your device. Now for settings, I have right here, let me just show you. I have pretty much the same 1.3 track H.264 with QuickSync and 20,000 kbps, very fast, high profile, and 720, because if I push this to 1080 with balanced target it will lag quite a lot and I do not want that, and also at 60 fps it's not worth. So this is what I would recommend to record an Intel, and this will wrap up the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. That was me, Dragish. Bye bye.